Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach Today. I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB, episode 5162. It's a Monday, ready to go, and we've got a big week plan as we finish our due month and get ready to really start moving into our planning, which is probably my favorite time of year for Morning Coach. We all get ourselves ready and organized, and there's a lot going on. And so this week we're going to do a little metaphysical stuff as we move into that. Friday being our kind of our last financial Friday. I always bring that up, even though it was last Friday where you kind of check your finances. But this is a good time to start looking at everything that we're doing and start getting organized. So what we're going to do, we're going to spend some metaphysical ideas today. We're going to talk about perspective and time and what is time, what really is. We're going to get through that. Tomorrow we're going to finish our book, Risk Forward, which was great. Hopefully last week you got to hear the interview with Victoria. She is just amazing. Her and her husband, Frank Oz, are just good friends of mine. Frank Oz played Yoda and was Miss Piggy, I think, at Kermit. Some really, Jim Henson's best friend, really cool person. And Victoria comes from the theater area too, just very successful in the theater world that she comes from. Two dear friends of mine. So hopefully you're enjoying the book and also the interview we did last week. And then Wednesday, we're getting into changing the future now, which is understanding the moment and the energy that we have now and that perspective that we've been talking about. Thursday is our Ask JB, and we're going to talk about a little bit about perspective, but also how do I overcome the past. By the way, and this is really critical, please put this on your calendar, is our first planning meeting. This is a big meeting, organizational meeting on Thursday that leads us into the new year for all members, okay? So I want you to be there if you can. It's at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make arrangements to be there. We're going to be going over the planning structure and everything. It's a really, really important meeting. Okay, so that's on November 30th. That's on coming up this Thursday. Friday, we've got the start of the the end of the year, right? The last month of the year. We're going to talk about time and money and what is more valuable. Saturday, Dr. Paul brings us great energy as always. And then Sunday, a little deeper day, we're going to talk about what is eternity. And again, we're kind of on this time discussion this week, which I'm excited about. So really, the first thing I want to tell you is mark your calendar for Thursday. Please, be there if you can be there. Obviously, it'll be recorded, but would really love to have you there and participate in that meeting. As far as other things that are going on, really critical. In a few weeks, we've been working on, and this is a big announcement. We've had this in the past, but now we're really excited about even more. We're going to be launching a Apple app, Morning Coach app. This is huge news, so you can just plug in. And we're also going to do an Android app. So basically now you can get into the community, the meetups, all from your phone, educational content. We're going to be able to get you that right on your phone. And we're also going to be able to do push notifications, which are really awesome, which will allow us to send you information when it comes to planning and organizing. Hey, did you do your Financial Friday? What are you doing? And so you can get a little notification on your phone. And then finally, the beginning of the year, they're working on this for us. We will have the CoachCast be able to be listened to there. It'll be a little rough at the beginning. That's the last thing that they couldn't get done for us as we go into the new year. But everything's going to be on these apps except for that going into the new year. And then January, February timeframe, we'll be able to have everything that is on the web, on a mobile app, in your Apple for your iPhone, in the Apple Store, and in the Android Store. So we're really excited about that. Just more tools for you to be able to connect to the things that we're doing to make it work for you as we continue to get better. The planner, which I'm excited about for next year, and we'll be talking about that Thursday, so much better. So many more links and structure and organization to it. If you use our planner, it's just off the charts, and we'll go through all that Thursday, and then we get the apps, and it's just expanding, and to be honest with you, we couldn't do it without you, so thank you for being a member, and it's just getting better. We're going to manifest things. We're going to have a great, great year, and of course, part of that is our 7 Ps, which is we got to start our day off with that, which is having the proper perspective, set the daily priorities, focus on improved performance, have patience, keep that posture today, stay present, and persist. And if we do that, we are just rocking and rolling. Another note, for those of you, this is the last week to sign up with the personal challenge with me. We've got Alpha, Beta, Charlie, and Delta groups. These are small groups of people, between 3 to 10 people, where I'm taking you through your plan. You can find out more about that at the homepage of morningcoach.com. It's a 4-week challenge, something that I've never done, but there's a reason I'm doing it, because we're launching a huge program to businesses, and we're allowing people to participate in this at a very, very low rate. And I'm excited about that. And if you want to work with me personally for 4 weeks on your plan, this is a very personal thing. Like I said, very, very small groups, Alpha, Beta, Charlie, and Delta groups. If you want to be in one of those groups, make sure you get to morningcoach.com. I think one of them is already sold out. We don't want any more than 10 people in the groups, but we'll be working on your specific plan. In fact, if you don't double your productivity, we're willing to give your money back. That's how we feel about it. It's strong. It's going to get you set up for the new year. And again, very limited spaces and very, very small groups. There's a reason I'm doing that. We'll get into that later when you join the group. But I want it to be very small and specific. And we've got 4 groups that you can be a part of. Excited about that. I think there's only 3 now. Go over to morningcoach.com. You can click on the homepage to get more. We've been emailing too about it if you haven't seen it. Okay, little break here. You're listening to the member morningcoach.com Coachcast for Mondays, and I'm so glad you're listening to it. We do 6 more days of the week. We have planning systems, as you heard, a lot of new tools and structure coming, and we have some great, great membership deals going on right now over at morningcoach.com. This is the time to join. So how do you join? You go over to morningcoach.com. You're going to see the things that we have going on our homepage. You can grab our planner for free. You can also check out some of the ways to join. We have multiple memberships in order to give you the energy that you need and the structure that you need to keep going every single day. So excited that you're working with us, excited that you're listening. You want to be a part of something really special, come on and join us, and we'll work together to make 2024 absolutely amazing. So thanks so much for listening, and I can't wait for you to be a part of this and for me to be a part of every morning with you. How do you do that? Go over to morningcoach.com. And we'll get you the information over there. And you can always email us, info@morningcoach.com too. We're real people, and we are really committed to supporting you in whatever your endeavor is through coaching and structuring and educational content that you can't find anywhere else. All right, so we can't wait to see you over at morningcoach.com. Back to the show. Let's get into today. The focus is metaphysical. We're ready to finish our do month and get into our plan month, which I think is so important. And in doing that, understanding the metaphysical concepts of perspective and time are really, really important. So if you're new and you've never heard me before, my background is metaphysical. I'm a metaphysician. My doctorate is in metaphysics. My master's is in business. And my undergrad was actually in general studies. So I've got a really diverse educational background from traditional. And of course, I think my street education is even more important, working with Hay House and having a mentor in Wayne Dyer before he passed away, being able to be with some really amazing people, some amazing teachers during my traditional education and even outside of that allows me to bring some wonderful tools. And the tools that we're bringing you, whether it's Get It Done Now or the challenges or the community and the systems, has all been built through this educational process, and so that you can really focus on the things you need to do, whether it's my book, The Sacred Six, Get Out of Neutral, the Intelligent Life Design Structures, Professional Expert Structures. These are all put in place with years and years of study. When it comes down to you, then, is figuring out what is the best structure for you, because these plans and these systems are all based on an individual structure, again, and they're metaphysically in nature, but they're based on you as a specific individual. So the idea is, to have that proper perspective and understand time so that we can set the proper priorities. That's really what strategy is. That's what's Get It Done Now. Get It Done Now and Sacred Six is basically helping you have the right priorities so that you can manifest the things that you want to manifest. We all know that people are getting more busy. There's more things happening. You've got children, you've got business, you've got things that are going on in your life, relationships, and really putting that all together is what this structure is about. And in order to do that, we've got to have the proper perspective, right? And so how do we do that? We realize time. And so when we get metaphysical and we start to understand time, you'll start to see that all time is really psychological. If you've ever been on vacation, you know how fast it goes. For me, it just gets going faster and faster because I love what I do, and I'm working on slowing it down, right? I'm trying to put the brakes on time. We also know that it can be really slow at some times. That's what I want. But back in school, when I was doing things that I hated, or maybe it's a medical visit at an office, right? Time is like, just get this over with, and it just slows down. But it's all psychological, and we have to recognize that. We got to recognize the past is not real. Now, you're going to say, JB, it's real. I know it's real. It existed, but it's the perception that you have. There's another P, right? There's a perception of what occurred in the past. And I've always said like this: if we go to an art gallery together, we go to the Louvre. I've used the Mona Lisa in the past, and I've experienced the Mona Lisa. It doesn't do much for me. I thought it was really bigger than what it was, and it's actually really tiny. But going there, if we go together and we look at the experience of that visit, we go to the Louvre, we go in there, we go look at Mona Lisa, and we come out of there and we're having dinner and we say, okay, let's review our past. Our past is going to be significantly different. You're going to have a different viewpoint of mine. Maybe we think the same, which is a chance, but more than likely you're going to have a different experience. For me, I'm not into art that much, at least at this point in my life. And it's boring, right? I've got a lot of energy, and it just wasn't my thing. But maybe you're into art. Maybe you love it. Maybe you just, wow, I've waited this for my entire life. What a magical experience. So here you're having a magical experience in your past, or the perception of it, and I'm going, get me out of here. That was horrible. I will never do that again. So you can see the past is directly related to the psychological ability of our brain to give a perception of it. And why is that so important? Because once we have that awareness, we recognize the future doesn't equal the past. It really doesn't. It has to do with how we handle that. And that's why when we talk about morning coach is coaching. It's not therapy. And I think it's really important to understand and delineate between those two things. Therapy is where you go get treated to work through those perceptions, to work through those issues. I don't even like to go into regression. It's something that I don't like to do, but it is a necessary thing that you need to do once in a while, and that's what a therapist can do. Help you understand your perception of the past, right? What a coach does is listens, and really we're more educational than a coach in Morning Coach, even though we do some coaching. It's more educational in nature, a teacher or a consultant. And that's somebody that is telling you, giving you the tools from the past to help you. Really, that's a consultant. And then a teacher is educating you, kind of what I'm doing now. So there's 4 things always going on within our personal development. There's therapists, which I am not, and I don't play one and never will be one. And there are licensed therapists. We have some great ones here in Morning Coach that can help you in specific areas. Then you have coaches, and those are people that help in specific things, but typically listen, kind of like our challenge. When you come to the challenge, I'll be doing a lot more coaching instead of educating, right? That's coaching. It's small group, but we'll be working together on specific things that you need and things that we need to get your plan in place so that when it comes to week 4, you're specifically executing. That's coaching. Then we have more teaching or educating, which I'm doing here, or consulting. Now, consulting is when I work with bigger companies. We have, implementing the Sacred 6. We are also building a new program on retention for gyms and membership organizations on ending churn and adding retention. That's something I do on the side. It's something I absolutely love. And that's a consulting situation. So understanding those areas, it helps you understand kind of the idea of what we're doing, and then the metaphysical concepts of time and how you use those people to help you deal with the past. Then the present is, the future is another very interesting concept, because as a concept, it will come. We know it's going to be here, but the truth, it's not real. And the reason I say this is a lot of times, how many times have you had, you worry or you have anxiety because you're worried about some future event, or you're worried that something's going to occur. Speaking's a great example of this. You're worried, oh my gosh, I got to get up on stage, I got to do all these things. And then once you're done with it, it's like, wow, that wasn't so bad. But your brain can really work against you. Flying is one that used to be really bad for me. Now that I'm working on my pilot's license, it's gone. But back in the day, I somehow ingrained this fear of flying. And so for days, I would be thinking about, oh, the horrendous turbulence and how bad it's going to be. And the experience is going to be horrible. Well, that wasn't even real. That was all psychological. It was all in my brain. And so you got to realize that is part of it too. We've got to understand the psychology of time as we start to put our plan together. And that's where perspective comes in. So how did I overcome the fear of flying? Is I got the right perspective of getting in there, enjoying it from a technical, mechanical perspective. How do I fly a plane? What's happening? And how do I be childlike? And now I enjoy it. I actually enjoy turbulence. What would I do in this situation if we're going through turbulence? Would I call into the tower? Would I change altitude? And so I totally, 180'd the whole thing to get to a place where now I actually enjoy, I can go anywhere, and that fear's gone. So again, it has to do with past, present, and future, and understanding where we're at in the metaphysical realm in order to build the right plan to have success. And that's why I think, and I know, Morning Coach is so important and why it's so different than anything else out there, because we can do it for you. We can work together to get you in a place that's going to help you and support you in the structuring of what you're doing. But you got to remember, it's kind of like a child growing. If you're with them and you're doing this with me year after year after year, you're not going to see the growth as much as somebody that's looking from the outside in. And so we got to realize that, when we're working with Morning Coach and doing these things, it's not about some massive chasm jump. It could happen. But what happens is the small victories that you keep ending up, and then all of a sudden you're doing what you want to do, where I'm at right now, launching new products, marketing team. It's crazy. How did I get here? It took a long time psychologically, but it didn't. Why? Because I'm here now. And that's the secret. That's perspective. That's being able to shift your entire mindset to understand that I am here now. It's not about the past. It's not about anything that has occurred. That's made me who I am. It's the lessons I've learned. It's the perspective that I have and the perception I have of those things that occurred. Where the real power is here and knowing that I'm here. We talked about peace yesterday, right? Finding that peace in order for us to manifest is what's going on. So what are we going to do? Well, this week we're going to get metaphysical. I mentioned that. We're going to start working on focus and priorities. Why are we doing that? So we can work on a plan. And why would you want to plan if there's no future and no past? Because the concept is the future is going to exist. We know that. It's just going to be the present now. So how do we change that future now? By working on ourselves today. And you're in the perfect place for this. There's no other place in the world you're going to get this information. You have found the right place. And by getting involved with us, you're going to learn some deeper concepts. And that's why we attract the most intelligent people in the world. The majority of the members here are super, super intellectual, super intelligent. The majority, everybody is. Because the people that have come and joined and came on board with us are people that understand these deeper concepts and are looking for more intellectual processes instead of like, hey, let's just set a goal, right? And that's why we're working together. So we're going to commit and invest in you. That's what we're doing, and that's why we're bringing new apps, trying to build new structure out, getting some new things coming, some new tools, because we want to invest in you. We're committed to you, and your job is just to step back and get the right perspective, set the right priorities, get the right performance, have patience, keep that posture good, stay present, and persist, and work your plan, okay? That's all you got to do. Show up. We're here for you. And we get together and we're going to make this happen. And if you got any issues, let us know. Because we've got to continue to press on. We got to press the pace, as Sir always tells me. And that's what we're going to do going into December. It's time to start pressing the pace. I love you. Let's get to it. It's going to be an amazing week going into our planning week and our planning month. I'm super pumped. You're here. More announcements coming on the app. Keep looking out for things. Stop by the community. And remember, hey, please, that Thursday, this Thursday coming up, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure it's on your calendar. I want you there. It's going to be a great meeting. I'm going to be teaching a lot and going over a lot of things. So Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we start our 2024, really our year. So make sure you're there. Okay, I love you. I'll be back tomorrow right here, morningcoach.com.